Hello there and welcome back to my channel. It is time to head to the airport. I am flying to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm speaking at the McCall conference, which is an EdTech conference. I actually was a featured speaker last year at the conference, so they must not have hated me because they invited me to be a featured speaker again this year. But Billy is being nice enough to drop me off at the airport on his way to work. So I gotta grab my bag and we're gonna get this vlog started.
Aircraft is Wi-Fi equipped, which allows you access to the internet and our in-flight entertainment corridor. And double check those seatbelts. We've been clear for departure.
Made it to Michigan. I'm about to walk to a little convenience grocery store place to grab some food to have over the next few days while I'm here, because as much as possible when I travel, I like to buy groceries rather than eating out. It's just my preference.
I called every grocery store in Scranton and no one sells whole pigs.
I'm currently waiting on a microwave to be delivered to my room. I had to rent one because the room only had a refrigerator. And since I'm eating my meals here, I need a microwave. But while we wait for that, I wanted to show you some little travel favorites, most of which are food related, but one is not. Let's start with the one that's not, because that's probably the one you actually care about. This is what I use to charge my phone, watch, and AirPods. Now, I actually use this at home on my nightstand. I had one that was bulky and I didn't travel with it because I'm not packing a big bulky charger stand, but this one folds up. So now I can use it at home and I can travel with it, which just excites me. So you obviously plug it into the wall, but this piece right here has MagSafe in order to charge your phone. And what I love is that it has a really strong magnet so your phone actually stays on it, because nothing is worse than putting your phone on a magnetic charger, but it gets slightly out of place and then it doesn't charge all night, and you don't discover it till the morning. Can you tell I'm speaking from experience? Plus, this will move up so you can charge it either vertically or horizontally. In addition, there also is this piece that plugs in here to the side. And this is what you use to charge your Apple Watch. So you can either have it flat or you can prop it up. And then you can also charge your AirPods back here. And I just love this thing because it's super lightweight, compact, folds up nicely. In terms of food, these are technically formula dispensers, like baby formula. However, I use them to store protein powder and oats, which is my go-to breakfast when I travel. So these three have oats, these three have protein powder, but what I love is that each section is separate and then you can just screw off the lid and dispense it right into a cup or a bowl, whatever you have. Speaking of which, this is my little travel collapsible bowl. It has a lid, which is really nice, and the lid pops off, and then the bowl piece, this is silicone, just kind of pops out and then it easily folds up. It's nice and lightweight, but a lot of times I'll also just use like the disposable cups that the hotel has. And then I also have a travel set of utensils. Now these technically I got at H-E-B. The other things all came from Amazon, so I will link them for you. But it's just a plastic fork, spoon, and knife that are reusable, but they snap together, which I really, really like. And again, lightweight. They fit in the little case, it's perfect. Besides my protein powder and oats, I also typically bring some tuna packets because those are easy, some microwave popcorn packets, and then I had a little sample of beef jerky that I've been holding on to for travel. So once my microwave gets here, I'm gonna go grab some food, but while we wait, let me show you the little goodie bag. This was waiting for me when I walked in the room, which was incredibly sweet and thoughtful. We have a handwritten card, there is a playlist of songs by a Michigan artist, and then a bag of snacks, which is totally the way to my heart. So we have some Ruby Red Sour Cherry Patches, some Great Lakes potato chips, original sea salt. I would pronounce this Fago, but I could be butchering that, Rock and Rye. We have some Sanders sea salt caramels, Pops, which this was my childhood favorite cereal, and then a little macaw bracelet. Oh. Very, very sweet, very thoughtful, completely unnecessary, but appreciated nonetheless. Good morning. I actually got up bright and early, walked to a local gym to go train because typically hotel gyms just don't have the equipment that I need, but now it is time to head to the conference. Today is actually the workshop day, which these are all separate sessions participants can register for, and they're longer. So they're 2 hours as opposed to the sessions I'm doing tomorrow and Friday that are an hour each. I am presenting a session from my Putting the Tech in Teach series called The Ultimate Lesson Planning System. Of the 5 sessions I'm doing, this is the only one I have presented before. Now, did I redesign all the slides at the airport yesterday to match my new theme for the slides I developed to present tomorrow and Friday? Yes, I did. Was that a good use of my time? Probably not, but just a peek. Now I move slides around, so this is not the order that I'm presenting, but just to show you some examples. So this session is all about connecting the different Google apps in order to create a cohesive system to make your lesson planning easier. So for example, using Google Calendar to create the scope and sequence, Google Drive obviously organizes your digital files, creating your planning templates through Docs, creating a checklist through Keep, and then creating your ongoing scheduled tasks through Google Tasks. And then I give examples of connecting them together so that they function more efficiently. So for example, creating a little bookmark to your slideshow within Google Keep so it's easy for you to access. And then within your scope and sequence in Google Calendar, you can then attach those lesson planning templates that you create through Google Docs so that it's easily accessible. If you are interested in the outlining design process for my PDs, the week before last, I actually shared a week-long vlog where I was getting ready for this conference. So I will link that if you are interested. But the good news is, because this session is literally all just digital computer based, there's very minimal materials I need to bring with me. It's just my laptop. I always bring a portable speaker because I like to have music playing when people are working. This session is designed so that I share some things, give them tutorials, and then help them while they work, share some more things, repeat. This is just a JBL wireless speaker, but I'll link it for you if you're looking for a speaker. It's great, it's heavy duty, it's got great sound, and then my lovely organizer of all the cords. I've shared this before, yes, it is massive, but when I present, I have a lot of cords. So I have all the various USB, USB-C, lightning cables in that section, and then the underneath has all of my different dongles, my wireless presenters, an extension cord just in case, MacBook charger, everything I could possibly need, or at least let's hope so. I'm going to head over to the conference. I need to get my badge with like the registration area, and then I need to find where I'm presenting today, where I'm presenting Thursday, and where I'm presenting Friday, because I am that person that stresses about not knowing where to go. So in order to ease my mind, I need to know exactly where I'm going, test out the technology, all of that good stuff. But I was thinking, once I return, we could have a little chat about how I transitioned into this role of presenting PD for teachers, because I get asked about it a lot. Workshop is done. It went really well. For being 2 hours long, it flew by. I'm now back in my hotel room defrosting because where I presented was freezing.
Cold front coming into the warehouse.
However, had a great time. I've already gotten to meet some people who have said hi to me, and every time I do McCall, it's only my second time, but last time and this time, it just is such a well-run conference and everyone's so nice, and that makes the experience that much more enjoyable. But in terms of transitioning from the classroom to now doing PD full-time, I get asked a lot about just how I went about it, or like what recommendations I have for others. That's the heat kicking on that you hear. What recommendations I have for others wanting to get into more PD presentations. And obviously, when I started, I already had been putting up content on YouTube for several years. And so I started to have conferences and districts and organizations reach out to me to inquire about my services. However, I will say another really smart thing to do is to start presenting within your district, because not everyone has a social media audience and you don't need that. I got the position of e-coach in my last district in addition to teaching in the classroom. And so I started doing some more PDs within just my school. And I think that that's a great place to start for anyone, because you get experience, you start to get your name out there. If you start presenting at your school, then you can be presenting for your district, and then you can expand outside of your district. But keep in mind, it's different than teaching in the classroom, and I think different people have different preferences. I love it because I get the aspect of teaching, but it's teaching teachers. And I think for me, at least right now, I love it. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. All right, here's my little agenda for the rest of the evening. I decided I'm gonna go back to the gym and do a second training session. I know y'all think I'm crazy, but that day pass at the gym was $30, $30. It was a really nice gym though. So I figured if I have to get 2 training sessions in while I'm here, if I do them both in the same day, I only have to get 1 day pass, and then it's basically half price, right? Math, real life world application. So I'm gonna go work out, come back, and then I'm gonna chill, watch some Office, Friends, YouTube. I think for dinner tonight, this is really lame, but I got some shredded lettuce and I brought tuna packets, so I'm gonna have some tuna. And I'm gonna have some tea. I did get myself some of the cinnamon, hold on, let me show you. Let's go on an adventure. This is my little kitchen area that I have created with my microwave, but the cinnamon apple spice tea bags from Celestial Seasonings, I think is how it's said. I've been obsessed with these at home, and when I saw them at the store last night, I said, you know, I just have a funny feeling I'm gonna be cold at some point and want some hot tea. So that's happening. But we will catch up in the AM. It is a rainy and dreary Thursday here in Grand Rapids, but it's not gonna stop us. It's a busy day for me for conference stuff. First stop is the Expo, which I love me a good expo. I think this goes back to when I was running marathons and I would go to the marathon expos and I would collect all the free snacks and granola bars, but I love a good education or technology expo as well. I am actually doing a meet and greet in the McCall zone, which is like right in the middle of the expo from 12:30 to 1. Fingers crossed at least one person shows up, because otherwise, highly embarrassing, although not surprising. Immediately following, I am taking whoever wants to join me on an expo tour. I'm just taking them to 5 booths of companies or products that I love. So we're gonna visit Discovery Education, Lego Education, Nearpod, Lightspeed Technologies. That is the company that makes those wireless microphones that I used to wear in my classroom and I always got asked about. And then Goose Chase. I love me some Goose Chase. It's a really fun way to create scavenger hunts where people have to collect like pictures or videos and submit them. And I'm actually using Goose Chase in my first session, which will be from 2:30 to 3:30. It's called Say Goodbye to AI, Spark Creativity Digitally Without the Use of Artificial Intelligence. There you go. So that session, it's an hour long, and it's just what the title says. It's all about utilizing technology to spark student creativity, but without AI, because I just feel like AI is kind of taking over a lot of things, and I want to go back to like the basics of what does it mean to be creative and how can we utilize technology to enhance our creativity, because ultimately technology is a tool. Then I have a quick like half an hour in between to, use the potty, get things reset up before my second session, which is the DL on AR/VR for EDU, because teachers love acronyms, right? But this session is all about how to get started using augmented reality and virtual reality in the classroom. It's really designed for beginners who don't have a lot of exposure or prior experience using AR or VR. So I brought along some goodies because I feel, hold on, I've been like sitting on my feet, and they're cramping. I feel like a lot of PDs lack the ability for teachers just to like experiment and kind of play around and be able to get help from the presenter while they're still there, rather than just, here's the information, all right, see ya. I want them to be able to interact with the technologies. That way I can offer support and guidance. So I brought some VR goggles. Now, all of this is actually from Amazon. So I have put them all onto an AR VR favorites Amazon list that I will link for you. So if you're interested in any of it, you can find it there. This is a set of VR goggles. So you just pop your phone in there and they are adjustable. It also has a little controller. And then I also have the Merge AR VR goggles. So the reason this is just for VR or virtual reality is because there is no spot for the camera to be exposed. Whereas with the Merge one, there is this little spot where you can actually expose the camera. So you can use it for both AR and VR. Also, I have 2 Merge cubes, which I love Merge cubes. They're super, super cool. If you've never seen these before, essentially the cube is covered in these like glyphs. And when you scan it with your phone using the various apps, it will transform it into various augmented reality things. So you could hold the whole solar system in your hand, or like a beating heart, things like that. So these are very, very cool. You can get them on Amazon, but you can also just print a paper cube and assemble it yourself. However, keep in mind, access to a lot of the Merge apps are paid. So there is still a fee involved, but it's something that you could get your school to fund or even get through grants and things like that. I have a VR game that we are doing. It's called GeoGuessr. So essentially it drops you into a random spot on like Google Street View and you have to guess where you are. And we're gonna play as a group and the winner gets a $10 Amazon gift card. But I also got these flashcards. So this is a space pack, but there are other ones. And this just works with an app with a phone or another device that has a camera, and it's augmented reality. So this is a really like cheap, easy kind of option. I also have these mats. So obviously they take up a lot more space. And speaking of space, these ones are space themed, but these will again come to life with AR when you scan them in the app. So I need to pack all this into my backpack, but I'm gonna head down to the Expo Center, and I will not be done until 5 o'clock because that second session is from 4 to 5. So it's gonna be a longer day, but I'm really excited because I love both of these sessions, and hopefully anyone who comes loves it too.
I just wanted to say thank you because during the pandemic, you changed my life with your YouTube video on how to organize your Google Drive.
Oh, good,
How to fill in colors and folders.
Yep, folderception, folder within a folder within a folder.
Whenever people see my Google Drive, I have to share, I have to proselytize. And, you know.
Yeah.
So,
oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you saying
very
that.
entertaining and
Good
stuff. So
awesome. I appreciate
I'll see you a couple
that.
times.
Yeah. Thank you.
I just did a Google Drive session with all the teachers, or as many teachers as would come, and I'm like, and I used your video and I think John Sirach's, like, combined the two of you guys.
Yeah, awesome.
And, like, here's some ideas, go for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's nice to meet you.
I follow you on like all your socials.
Thank you.
Absolutely love you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, nice to meet you. I always forget how exhausting conferences are, whether you are attending them, presenting at them, hosting them. It's so exciting and you love it, but at the same time, it's exhausting because there's so much stimulation and you need decompression time after to just absorb the information, reflect on the process, which I'm gonna do with you right now, although first, we are taking off the high heels because my feet hurt, but fantastic day. I love this conference. It's just really well organized and there's so many sessions and offerings for teachers, but the meet and greet went well. People showed up. I wasn't by myself, which is good. And thank you to everyone who came by to say hi and to meet me. It was great to get to connect with people. The Expo tour that I was supposed to do afterward, no one showed up. This was the first year that they were offering this, so I think it just wasn't advertised very well. Like, people didn't even know it was happening. As I mentioned, they have so much going on here that it can be really hard to keep track of everything. So it's fine. I got to just kind of walk around the expo and check out some booths. And then my first session on sparking student creativity without the use of AI, I thought went really well. I felt like I had the timing down pretty good. And the room that I presented in, it was this gorgeous ballroom. I felt completely undeserving of presenting in there, but that makes it that much cooler. And then the second session on AR and VR, I think could have gone better. It was my first time presenting it, and in hindsight, trying to fit it into an hour was a tall task because it would have been better as like a 2-hour workshop. There just wasn't a lot of time at the end to explore and actually experience the tools. And they did a digital escape room in it. I called it Escape the Virtual Vortex. Actually, hold on, let me grab my laptop and I can kind of show you that. Okay, so this was the digital escape room. I just created it through Google Forms. It was Escape the Virtual Vortex. The storyline is you were staying up late to play computer games again and suddenly heard a strange noise coming from your device. As you leaned into the speaker to try and hear it better, there was a glitch and you were suddenly sucked into the screen through a virtual vortex. You don't have much time. Your mom will be up soon to get ready for work and it'll be game over if she finds out you stayed up late again. So they click start, next, and then it would shuffle the order of the different tasks, but it would take them through experiencing some of the different apps and VR websites and things. And from there, they would complete the task. It would tell them to look for something, enter a code, etc. So that I felt like I wasn't able to give them as much time as I had hoped I would have been able to give them. It just felt rushed. And so, you know, hindsight 2020, or as I think it was Bush once said, hindsight is 50-50. But now I know, and I mean, that's what teaching is, right? We do things, we plan, we teach the lesson, we reflect, and we make it better for the future. So that being said, I am tired. I'm also very hungry, so I'm gonna get some sustenance. And then tomorrow, I'm very excited for the 2 sessions that I am presenting. One is on Canva, one is on Google Sites, but I will share more about that in the AM. For now, I need food, and then we'll catch up and chat a little bit more tomorrow. But first, I've got to shout out Renaissance, who owns Nearpod and Vocabulary, and just say thank you, because they came and found me during one of my sessions to give me this little swag bags. We've got water bottles, t-shirts, these socks. Y'all, I'm so excited about these socks. I love a good pair of decorative socks. But I just thought that was incredibly sweet and kind of them. As y'all know, I've been a huge user and fan of Nearpod as a platform to use with students for years, but specifically during the pandemic, it's literally how I survived teaching hybrid and all virtual, not an exaggeration. I don't think I could have gotten through it without Nearpod. So to have them appreciative of me for sharing about them, it's all full circle and very nice. So thank you so much. If y'all missed the content that I shared during the pandemic, specifically how I used Nearpod to teach during that time, I will link it for you down below. Good morning for the last time. I would like to kick off this Friday with another shout out, but this time it goes to the group of ladies who were just having the best time in the room next to me last night. It started with them singing very loudly, "Let's Hear It for the Boy," which just so happens to be on my PD playlist. So I appreciated the free concert. It sounded like they were having a blast, and I thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. But today I have 2 back-to-back sessions. The first one is from 10 to 11. It is Ignite Your Google Site, which I showed you kind of the behind the scenes of me planning and creating in the vlog I mentioned at the beginning. So that's linked if you want more information. The second session is from 11:30 to 12:30, and it is called Combining Canva and Classroom, and it is all about ways to use Canva as a teacher. So it focuses less on like using it with students, where students are actually utilizing Canva, and it's more about ways to use it from the teacher perspective. After that, I am heading to the airport, so it's gonna be a short day in terms of vlogging, but I will be sure to catch up with you once I am done presenting. All right, that is a wrap on McCall 2024. Both of my sessions today went really well. I got a lot of great feedback. It's always nice hearing people leave saying, "Oh, that was such a great session. I learned so much," because obviously that's the goal. And I overthink all of my PDs before I present them, so I appreciate getting that feedback. And I've just had a phenomenal time. I cannot recommend enough if you are in the area or have the capability to come. Next year it will be in Detroit, but highly recommend the McCall conference. I am headed to the airport. I brought my bag with me, in fact, right now. That is what I have been setting my tripod on. But I'm going to head to the airport, fly home. I get to see Billy and the pets tonight, the kitties and Ember. So I hope you enjoyed just this behind the scenes view and got a little bit more insight into what my life looks like now that I have transitioned from the classroom to a role teaching teachers full time. But if you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one.